and you're watching Tim's Tiny Arcade, mother effer.
Alright guys, here is the controller itself. It looks really cool. I like the design of this, and it's pretty comfortable in the hand. Right here on top you have a paddle, and then here is your gamepad, game stick, and then your one button. Right here you got a switch. You can go from stick mode to paddle mode, so if you're going to play a paddle game or whatever, you'd have to switch that. Here on the top you can, it says for right stick or left stick. Basically what that means is you can play however you want on this system. So if you like this with the stick on the left and the button on the right, you can do that. But if that doesn't feel comfortable, this here on the back, you can move this cord, unattach that cord, and just flip it. And now look, you got the cord on top. So now you have the stick on the right and the button on the left. That was something that the Atari 2600 sorely missed. You had one way to play back in the day. So you can play either way on this one. This controller has a nice weight to it. So cosmetically, I like the way this thing looks. It does have this sticker here. I don't know. I mean, I assume it'll wear off in time if used enough, but it looks nice right now. Let's do some gameplay on it. We're going to do it on my Atari 2600 Junior first, and we'll play some stick games. Alright guys, one of the things I forgot to mention earlier is this thing has a 10-foot cord, which is extremely nice to play your Atari games on. And so I thought a good game for testing the stick out with is we'll try some Pitfall. A lot of jumps in this game, so let's go ahead and try. Pitfall was like one of my favorite games when I was growing up. Ooh. That had nothing to do with the controller, that's my gameplay. I'm a little rusty at this game. But so far, this will be the test right here, doing the alligators. And look at that, no problem. My problem is some of my gameplay is I'm a little rusty at this game. But as far as the controls are real good on this. Having no problems. One thing I might say is if you're used to playing with the Atari 2600 controller, it might be a little bit of adjustment going to this style of a controller. But as far as the controller itself, it's performing the way it should. As you can see when I went over those alligators, let's see if we can do one more set of alligators. I think there's more coming up here. Here we go, let's try one more. Yeah, it controls really good. Okay, the next game I want to try out here is Missile Command. This is a little way into the game, just so it's sped up a little bit to make it a little more difficult for me, but it handles real good, as you can see. I moving the cursor where I need to be. Missile Command, I mean, like on the 5200, I know they had a trackball, and then their joystick was actually kind of designed for those type of games on the 5200, but it wasn't designed for like Pac-Man. For the 5200, but this controller is like excellent for a game like this, where you just move quickly with your thumb to the areas you need, and as you can see, I'm handling these missiles pretty easy. I play a lot of Missile Command. I just got done playing in a Missile Command tournament on Atari Age Facebook page, and I kind of wish I had this controller when I was doing that to see how far I can actually go, but it seems to handle pretty well. You know, get into the areas I need to. So let's try a paddle game next. Okay, so I did a lot of testing with the paddle, and this is my best game with the paddle with the Hyperkin controller. And when I was a kid, used to be able to get the patch, which was 3,000 points back in the day, and obviously I'm rusty at the game, but I played several games with the controller, and my best score was in the 200s with the controller. Now, it's not jittery or anything. It's just, I don't know if it's just me or, you know, I'll let you be the judge if you buy one of these controllers for the paddle. So this is a little bit of me playing with the Hyperkin controller and the best score I end up getting. And then I'll show you just a little video of me playing on a regular controller, regular paddle of the Atari 2600, the score differences. Okay, so here's a video of me playing with the old-fashioned Atari 2600 paddles. Obviously, I play a lot better with those. Not taking anything away from Hyperkin, but I just think it's easier to turn. And this might be because I'm used to it, but anyway, I prefer the old-fashioned 2600 paddles over the Hyperkin. All right, now we're going to try the Ranger on my Atari 7800. We're going to play some Ms. Pac-Man and see if it works on the Atari 7800. And boom, it does. The stick works great on the Atari 7800. You have pretty good control with it, just like I did on the Atari 2600. So this is pretty cool that you can use it for the Atari 2600 and the Atari 7800. I did try this on my Atari Flashback 9, and it did not work. I couldn't get it to work on there. So only things I could get this to work on was the Atari 2600, the Atari 7800, and it should work on the Retron 77 if you have that system also. So my overall thoughts on this controller is I really like the stick. I think the stick's great. I think the paddle would be good on games like Demons of Diamonds and games like that personally. That's maybe what I would use it for. Some games where you don't have to move as fast, but as far as like Kaboom, I will probably still use my paddles. Even though there's no jitter or anything, I just couldn't get it turned fast enough. Maybe that's just me, but that's just my opinion on it. So, I mean, I'm really glad I got the Ranger controller overall. I like it. Pretty good controller. Like I said, just be aware if you want to get this just for the paddle. I don't know if I would recommend it for that. But anyway, guys, I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, guys, we'll talk to you all later.